Yo, what's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Locked On Giants postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. You may know me as the former producer for the Murph and Mac Morning Show on KMBR, or maybe from some of these other Locked On sports postcasts that we do, Locked On Sports Network postcasts. We also do the Locked On Warriors and the Locked On 49ers show. But today, the Giants dropped their third consecutive game after falling 4-3 to the Colorado Rockies at Oracle Park. And after entering the eighth inning with a one-run lead, Tyler Rogers surrendered the tying and go-ahead runs to the Rockies, who picked up just their second road win of the entire season. A very frustrating loss tonight. And Justin Verlander was pretty solid, and Heliot Ramos launched his second home run in as many games. But ultimately, the tension in the fan base, you can just feel it building after this loss tonight. We'll break it all down, but first, I want to thank all of you for watching us on the Locked On Giants YouTube channel. Please, if you aren't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now. Thanks also for listening on the Locked On Giants podcast feed, and make sure to check out the Locked On Giants daily show for more in-depth coverage. Ben Kaspick always does a great job. And today, the Giants just absolutely frustrating loss to the Colorado Rockies. More frustrating than me leaving my mic muted again to start the show. But the Rockies, just their second road win of the entire year, the first time the Rockies have won back-to-back games all season long, and just very, very, very frustrating to see the Giants go down like this. The bullpen has been so damn good. That's like the one part of this team that you've been able to kind of count on throughout this whole year. And to see the Rockies of all teams, come back and get to the Giants bullpen in this one, I mean, very frustrating. You can't expect them to just, pitch a shutout every single time that they're going out there, the bullpen at least. But I don't know, man. It was seeing Rogers give up those two runs in that eighth inning was very, very frustrating. Jordan Beck had a big ground rule double to score Bretton Doyle to tie this one up at 3 runs apiece, and then Hunter Goodman singled to score Beck from second. So I mean, just very, very frustrating loss for the Giants tonight. And there was a lot of opportunities for the Giants to extend the lead in this one. I mean, just 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position, left 6 runners on base. Meanwhile, the Rockies 3 for 6 with runners in scoring position. And it was the same usual suspects. I mean, Matt Chapman, infield flyouts, Pat Bailey, not able to come up with a clutch hit in that 6th inning. So to keep that rally going where the Giants had already scored 2 in that inning, it just little things like that. If the Giants could just tack on to what they're already doing, or just come up with one more hit with these runners in scoring position, things would be a lot different. And it's very frustrating watching the rest of this team start to not be able to hit as soon as Heliot Ramos starts to heat up again, man. I mean, this whole team has been kind of down at the dish lately. Mike Yastrzemski had a nice at bat late in this one to in that 6th inning, a nice double to score a run. So you had some moments here tonight for the Giants. They ultimately hit better tonight than they did in that San Diego series. They had 9 hits, but you only generate 3 runs from those 9 hits. That's very, very, very frustrating. And I need Matt Chapman to start turning it on. He did pick up a hit tonight, but he's batting 200 on the season. And in a night when Jung-Hoo Lee doesn't start and Lamont Wade doesn't start, so you got a couple, you got Matos and VR in there who have not been really lighting the world on fire in their substitution days that they've played. And you also get Tyler Fitzgerald going on the 10-day IL. Christian Koss going to be getting a lot of playing time. You get Brett Wisely coming up from AAA. So it just kind of feels like things are starting to get tight. And to make it, to draw a comparison to a team that plays a different sport, but very, very close by in proximity to where the Giants play, this is kind of giving me, I'm not going to go out and say that it's full-on Golden State Warriors vibes from the beginning part of this season, but it is a little bit eerily similar, where the Giants had this very, very good hot streak to start the year, same way the Warriors did. And then they eventually kind of just hit a wall, and that chemistry that they had just kind of ran out and stopped working. And for the Warriors, that very much so coincided with the DeAnthony Melton injury. There isn't really a thing that happened to the Giants other than just the offense going cold. It's not like they, had an injury to like a key contributor or something like that. It's just been the offense kind of kind of petering out. And Wilmer Flores had a nice day today. Again, an RBI, a couple hits for Wilmer. But ultimately, he was playing out of his mind early in the season, and the home runs have slowed down for sure, not just from Wilmer, but from the rest of this team as well. So maybe a little bit of that magic is just starting to run out for the San Francisco Giants. But right now, I mean, you cannot lose another game to this Colorado Rockies team in this series. A sweep would have been nice, but coming home after getting swept by the Rockies, it is only a 2-game series, but it still was a sweep. And after coming back from that series where you couldn't win down in San Diego, and to come back to San Francisco and drop one to the Colorado Rockies, it's very, very, very frustrating. The optics look bad. I mean, this Rockies team, like I said, just 6-25 on the season, only 2 road wins the entire year, in the first time that they've won back-to-back games all season long. So that's very frustrating. But I mean, you got 3 more games in this series to get it right. So hopefully the Giants can figure it out. Hopefully these bats can turn it on a little bit. Coming into today, Kyle Freeland had a 5.93 ERA and is 0-4, and the Giants did not get to him nearly enough. That's one thing that I think you're going to be talking about after this one. So let's get into what you'll be talking about.
This is what you'll be talking about.
And what you'll be talking about is that the Giants have been having a lot of slow starts lately. And I think that these slow starts are starting to kind of add up, because it's one thing to have a team that, does a lot of their damage in the middle of games or late in games, and has like a very potent offense. But this Giants offense, I wouldn't say is particularly potent. So you need the consistency. I mean, it is great. It is dramatic and it's fun to have all these walk-off wins. But I mean, I need the Giants to start scoring before the 6th inning. I know they did today. They got on the board in that first inning with that Heliot Ramos home run, which, by the way, was the hardest hit home run he's had of his entire career. I mean, he smashed that ball 430 feet. 112.8 exit velo off the bat. I mean, his home run down in San Diego was 419 feet. So Ramos has really been starting to turn a corner as far as being able to get the barrel of the bat to the ball again, which is very good, because we haven't seen him doing that for the last couple of weeks. So Ramos, after he went on that tear to start the season with those 8-9 extra base hits that he had in the first couple games, I mean, he was really tearing the cover off the ball, and then he kind of just petered out as same way the rest of the Giants offense did. So Ramos hitting one out into center field today, a very, very, very good sign. I think that he's going to continue to heat up, because his home runs come in bunches. We know this from last year, but I think the Giants really need to score earlier on in these games, because it's taxing for a team to have to constantly come back like that. It's taxing on the bullpen. It makes your starters play very, very, very tight. So I think they got to really start getting on the board earlier on than they have been. I'm not going to put this loss on the bullpen, because I feel like the Giants should have been able to score more than 3 runs today. You had the opportunities. You got to capitalize on those opportunities. We'll be right back. We're going to take a quick break. We got to get into tonight's player of the game, and we got to discuss tonight's turning point as well on the other side. Don't go anywhere on the Locked On Giants postcast. Today's show is sponsored by Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K. Did you know your Fire TV is also an Xbox? Turn any TV into your gaming and entertainment hub with Fire TV Stick 4K devices. No console required. Just grab your paired controller, subscribe or sign in to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with EA Play included, and you're ready to go. Dive into hundreds of premium titles, including EA Sports College Football 25 to Call of Duty, as easily as you stream your favorite shows. It's so great to just be able to jump into your favorite Xbox title without needing your console in every single room. And how about when you have like a trip to take or something? It can be a hassle to try and like pack the Xbox or into a backpack or a suitcase. It's so much easier to just take the Fire TV Stick 4K on the go, and you can bring it anywhere. It makes traveling very easy with your games. You don't have to miss out on any of the action. Just head to Amazon.com/Fire TV Locked On to get started. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription and compatible controller required. available on select devices, including Fire TV Stick 4K 2nd Gen, Fire TV Stick 4K Max, 1st and 2nd Gen, and Fire TV Cube 3rd Gen. And today's show is also sponsored by Monarch Money. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track, and that's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app, it's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place, so you stop just managing your money and you start building wealth. It comes with all sorts of surprising insights. When I started using Monarch, I realized just how much I was spending on food delivery, and now I budget smarter and save even more. It also comes with all-in-one convenience, so instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch to check your finances, track your spending, and even plan long-term goals. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. Welcome back to the Locked On Giants postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel, and tonight, very frustrating loss from the Giants tonight. I mean, it's to lose 2 in San Diego and come back and play like this against the Rockies. It's very frustrating. But one thing worth noting from this game tonight, the Giants, and not just tonight, but the Giants' track record this season against left-handers, not very good. And they faced Kyle Freeland, like I said, who's got this very inflated ERA, but is a lefty. And the Giants are now just 2-8 in games that started with a left-handed pitcher. So they're 17-5 against right-handers. That's pretty good, but very frustrating that this team can't seem to hit left-handed pitching. You got to figure it out. You can't just be overloaded from one side of the plate. You got to be able to hit both sides, and I mean both types of pitchers. The Giants just aren't able to do it right now. So that's something worth watching going forward to see if they're able to course correct on that. But just very, very, very frustrating. That's the theme of tonight's game, was just frustration abound for the San Francisco Giants. And the turning point in this one was really the peak of all the frustrating moments put together in this one.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
And today's turning point came in that 8th inning when Tyler Rogers gave up those 2 runs. And I mean, it started to just unravel a little bit before that. The 7th inning, the Rockies hit that home run. McMahon hit that home run off of Verlander. That was not very fun. That ball, I thought it was going to get knocked down a little bit out there, but it just kept going and going and going and going on a night where things really didn't carry that well out at Oracle Park. I was actually out at the yard today, and it was a very cold night, and it was very windy as well. That wind seemed to be swirling around out there. Saw a couple guys struggle with those pop-ups. You saw Taglio like whiff on that one down the first baseline in foul territory. But it was a weird windy night out there at Oracle. And I did not think that ball was going to get out, but indeed it did get out of Oracle Park. It went right over that center field fence, and it had just enough. So, but in that 8th inning, Brenton Doyle ended up singling, and then you had a Jordan Beck ground rule double, which drove in that tying run, and that is our turning point of this one, because then next 2 batters later, Hunter Goodman singles on a line drive. Again, another 2-out RBI for a Giants opponent. It just absolutely kills the Giants in this one. Put the Colorado Rockies up 4-3, and the Giants, like I said, they had some opportunities, but they could not get it done. After a Wilmer Flores single in the bottom of the 8th, they used Brett Wisely to pinch run, ran into an out at second base. He had a great jump on that one, by the way. I thought for sure that Brett Wisely was going to have that steal in the bag, but a perfect throw from Hunter Goodman gets Wisely right at the last minute out at second base. And then you had a single right after that. So you have to feel like if maybe they didn't run into that out, it could have changed things a little bit. But again, very, very, very frustrating. Matt Chapman in that inning also popped out, another infield pop out for Matt Chapman. Feels like he's been doing that a lot. They just got to figure it out. They got to figure it out. Everybody on this team seems to be slumping right now, with the exception of just a couple guys. Matt Chapman is the biggest hole in this lineup right now. And you can't afford to have too many holes with Tyler Fitzgerald heading into the injured list and on a night where you have David Villar and Luis Matos playing instead of Lamont Wade Jr. and Jung-Hoo Lee. Before we get on out of here tonight, we got to give out a player of the game. So let's get into it. Tonight's player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
In tonight's player of the game, I'm going to give it to Heliot Ramos. He only went 1 for 4, but that one hit was a big one, man. And he smashed that ball. I mean, like I said, it was the hardest hit home run of his entire career for Heliot Ramos. He really got all of that one, 430 feet. I mean, this guy pummeled that baseball. And we know what it can, what Heliot Ramos getting into the mindset of pummeling baseballs can do for this team. We saw him last year basically carry the Giants single-handedly through stretches of the season with his offense. And let's hope it doesn't come to that again, because we don't need Ramos being the only guy on this team who can swing a stick. We need Willy Adames to start hitting, which, by the way, we didn't mention it on the show tonight. Willy Adames did pick up 2 more hits tonight in this game. So he is starting to slowly climb up that batting average ladder and that OPS ladder. The OPS is finally over 600, 604 on the season, and batting 218 as well. Wilmer picked up a couple hits in this one, and Mike Yastrzemski picked up a couple hits in this one as well. But Luis Matos, David Villar, Pat Bailey, that part of the order, very uninspiring right now. Very uninspiring. No hits from that entire part of the order. The Giants also only drew 2 walks in this one, so they weren't very good at getting on base all throughout this one as well. Before we get on out of here, one more last brief thing. Justin Verlander tonight, he had a pretty solid game on the mound. He went 6 in the third. He gave up 5 hits, 2 runs. One of them was on that home run by McMahon in the 7th before Justin Verlander was pulled in this one. He only had 1 walk. He had 4 strikeouts. Pretty solid outing for Justin Verlander. That ERA down to 4.38. So like I said earlier, in plenty of his prior starts, I do think Verlander is going to be just fine. I think that his advanced metrics look a lot better than his ERA reflects, than his box score has reflected in a lot of these starts. He's had a lot of bad luck with seeing eye singles and little flares falling down in the outfield. We've seen that happening to a lot of Giant starters lately. So Verlander, the box score kind of finally reflects what he was actually doing out there on the mound. I'm not very worried about this Giants pitching staff. I am starting to get a little worried about this offense, though. It's going from just a little slump into like a month-ish long slump for guys like Matt Chapman. So they need to turn it around. And the time for slow starts is over. We're now into the month of May. Turn the page and let's go. Let's hit the ground running. The Giants fall to 19-13 with the loss. The Rockies improve to 6-25. I need 3 more wins against this Colorado Rockies team before the series is over. So it's all the time that we got for you guys today here on the Locked On Giants postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. We'll see you next time. Peace.